share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. You know something else something you totally do not need to be notified about? It's Pride Month. You do not need to be notified about that at all, because everything is notifying you about that simultaneously, including Doctor Who magazine. But they're all kind of doing it in the same way. Look, I mean, okay, there is legitimate things to celebrate about Pride, right? There's legitimate things to celebrate about where the gay world has come in the last 50 years. It went from being criminally punishable to normal, right? To weird, which is where we are. It was at normal. I think we got normal, and then we had same-sex marriage. Then it got too weird. But the thing is, there is a great contribution of the gay world to Doctor Who. It's like there's so many different things, facets they could have done. They just went for the lowest hanging fruit with this massive article, which wasn't very good, right? It tells me they just really don't care, right? This is all about purse puppets. The purse puppet is a little doggy you put in your purse. They're very cute, right? But they treat people and groups of people like that. They're treating gay people like that. This whole idea of being transgendered and not coming from body dysmorphia, right? But I just don't know where we're going to be in 20 years from this. I think the long-term effects of this are going to be something that nobody is possibly in any way going to have any pride about whatsoever, assuming the reality and truth comes out. That's not to say I want trans people erased, or trans people shouldn't be allowed to, be on TV or be sick. No, it's fine, but like this ridiculous, disproportionate screaming at us that they want to be heard, right, and they want to be seen. I don't know how anybody can be more heard or bloody seen. So anyway, Doctor Who, but here's the point. Like, I think the whole world kind of just got on with it over the last 10 years or so, because we didn't want to be dicks. Essentially that. And nobody likes to cause confrontations for nothing, right? Nobody really likes to cause a confrontation if it's not going to get them anywhere, which is what opposing any of this stuff did. And again, nobody wants to be like, the small-minded, narrow-minded dick that like, no, gay people are allowed on TV or in society. No, people... But I think because of that, we've given quite a little more than an inch. And 10,000 miles have been taken instead. It's no one had a problem with drag. No one had a problem with cross-dressing until you're telling children this is a good thing for you to do, right? No one had any problem with it, right? And universally, people telling them that are people without any children, right? Almost virtually universally, and weirdo parents who are trying to validate themselves. I think all this is about. I say a lot. This is about validation, right? People looking for validation and throwing kids under the bus to do it in absolutely horrendous ways. So that being said, I wasn't entirely thrilled with this month's issue of Doctor Who magazine. Well, this headline article in Doctor Who magazine, I wasn't entirely thrilled with it. On any level, ideologically or practically, I thought it was a very badly put together article. Anyway, we went over it on a live stream. This was from, when was it from? I don't know. This was sometime this week. I had a Jewish holiday the week before, and it threw me off. I'm trying to catch up, right? I'm trying to catch up with all these videos today. It's Friday, so I'm not sure if this is going out today. Who knows or dare stream, but let me hand over to me. Oh, wait, before I hand over to me, like, share, subscribe, comment. That is the point of me doing these freaking introductions. Can you subscribe? Thank you. Really, I wouldn't need to talk if anyone would just subscribe. Could you just subscribe? That'd be really freaking great. Like, share, comment, all those things are fan-freaking-tastic. It'll be super nice. Head over to Rumble. Subscribe to me there. That'll be a fan-dabby. A fan-dabby double-dozy. Fine. With that all said, now let me hand over to me from a few days ago. Russell, this isn't helping. I really want you to do that. Like, this is really hurting. This is really hurting the LGBTQ plus cause, right? This is not helping you at all, right? Like, we're all being polite, okay? I want you to be clear. Most people are just being polite when we say that this is a lady, right? People with dicks, again, looks very effeminate, but we're saying where people with penises are ladies, right? Most people are being polite. Most people don't believe it, right? And this looks like you're trying to make me believe it. The analogy is, if you have a Muslim cleric, or no, not Muslim, it's too cool. If you have a Christian priest, right, Father Stu, whoever, right, who travels with the TARDIS, and they kept having like Christian lessons in there, right, which are great for life, showing Christianity in a really great light, right, all the time. You will be apoplectic, right? It's the same thing. It really is the same thing. Look, if you're not happy for it, you shouldn't be happy for it here either, right? I mean, that's the thing that I've really been shocked to discover, right, over the last few years, that how full of shit people are, right? But people say, oh, we just want equality. Well, when you got like supremacy, at that point you became racist instantly, right? At that point you're totally fine with, we've been pushed down for too many years, right? It's clearly you didn't mind racism, you just minded being the object of it, right? Fine. So the runaway pride, and it is runaway and out of control and unnecessary, because nobody's saying, oh no, well, okay, the only pushback you're getting is when you're trying to indoctrinate kids into weird adult sexuality, which drag shows are. Don't tell me that weird shit isn't. Do I have any video? 1 second. Where is it? We've got that one. Oh, here it is. 1 second. Got a whole bunch of them over here. What's this?
Always welcome at drag shows.
Yeah, no, this is not okay. This is not okay if it's a man. This is not okay if it's a woman. This is highly sexualized adult sexuality. This is not okay. And it's not okay to include children in what is obviously a sexual fetish, right? This is not okay. And you just calling me a racist and a bigot to tell me it's okay isn't going to work this time. And yeah, look, I'm sure, that individual person's very nice and caring, right? Or maybe he's a pedophile. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I know he's involving a child in intense adult sexuality. Oh no, drag's under attack. Yes, this should be under attack. I want you to know, I have a whole folder of this stuff. I just picked one at random, not knowing what it will be. I was like, oh, okay. This is child abuse. God, I hope that's the girl's father. Yeah, okay, so that's not okay. Okay, that's not okay. I'm sorry you want it to be okay. I don't think it's okay. I don't think most people think it's okay, right? I'm sorry, and that's why I think you keep it quiet. Celebrating 12 of the most significant LGBTQ plus characters in the show's history, Rosalie Davis begins to list with an insight into the recent casting of actress Yasmin Finney. Richard Unwin is your guide. Okay. I'm scared. Okay. Played by Yasmin Finney. We're looking for good actors. Yeah, right. Okay. That's the fundamental line. Good acting, gay, straight, in between, whatever. The actor who we chose has to be good. I actually agree. I believe him on that one, actually, to be honest with you. I think the last thing he wants is anything to look unprofessional, right? Well, John Barrowman won the top. Noticeably, actually, I think he might be. Yeah, I think actually might. I was going to say noticeably not. Actually, I think he is, because they really they look high and low, right? Not very well. That's
the only thing that matters. I find myself at the heart of the web, my own making. Okay, discussing the rights and wrongs of casting, especially when it comes to LGBTQ plus roles. Okay, this I'm actually fascinated to hear. It's an evolving thing, and it's not evolving in a good way. Again, if you're just tuning in, right? I said in the first half hour of the show, there was a comment recently that described Rusty Davis as a big-hearted genius who has drunk the Kool-Aid, right? Because he's a big-hearted lug, right? That's I completely believe, right? It's a lot thing. My stance changes over the years. As I learn more and more, my opinions change. They are like they're meant to. When I express a preference for casting of gay actors in gay roles, some critics will hold up Queer as Folk from 1999 and say, but you cast straight men in that. So yes, I say, and I owe them everything. Their bravery allowed me to move forward. But more significantly, okay, so that was 24 years ago. And also, yeah, I think he's addressing, it was a controversy about a year or so ago, or maybe it was when It's a Sin's Coming came out, right? It was, he was saying he prefers to cast gay actors in gay roles. There's a visual shorthand, right? A body language, which comes built in, which people were upset, but I kind of heard what he was saying, right? I did hear what he was saying. I think, I didn't think he was saying a blanket rule. I think he was saying, like, generally speaking, right? What's it? I just saw somebody saying about box ticking in the chat. I don't think this is box ticking, right? Marietta. Well, sort of it is, but it isn't, right? It's I think this is I think he's being straight with what he's saying right here, right? I think this is coming from a genuine desire to do good and be compassionate, right? I think it's been hijacked to do harm, right? That's what I think is going on. So 24 years, do you still think the same thing 24 years ago? So he's explaining why he had that stance a year or so ago. And then they stick their dummies back in their mouths, and I kind of think, oh, you do. The casting, the joy of casting is like this. In making my own experience richer, I hope the viewers too. That was what was working with Yasmin Finney. Through her contact, I've witnessed her ideals, her politics, her family, her fights, her triumphs, her life in this world. I understand you're saying her a lot, right? It's fine, okay? I understand that's the way you look at things, and I'm not criticizing you for it. I'm just saying it's a belief most don't share, right? And we're not bigots for not sharing it. It's just the science. No, this is science, okay? I'm talking bullshit, okay? That's just an excuse. It's our gut feeling. I'm sorry. It's the inbuilt gut feeling, and I don't think it's sociological as you think it is, right? I think this is an imperative that comes from one's soul, right? Because I think there is a soul, right? And I don't think I'm being hateful to you for thinking that way. And I certainly don't want to be hateful. I mean, like, really, I don't. Honestly, Rusty, I have nothing but respect for Rusty Davis and his work, right? And his worldview, right? I really have nothing but I don't share it. So it's okay. It's okay that you want to say that trans women are women, right? That's okay. But it's a faith. It's not universally of faith, right? A life I might never know. It's a journey of joy. I love it, and I hope I can do more and more. I say again, I think this is coming from genuine altruism. I mean, I really do. Was that it? That was it. It was like I didn't talk about that. So look, basically, he cast her because and notice I said her, even though my belief system is not that, right? Because you get put in your environment. So is this written by Rusty Davis or Richard Unwin? I think Rusty Davis. I think he just wrote that bit, right? I think Richard Unwin's over here. So what was I going to say? It sounds like he saw her on whatever that show is. Thought that was good. He could put her in a role. that she would be good in, and she probably would be good in it, right? I believe that. I believe everybody can act, right? I do think it's part of an agenda to try and make me accept your theistic religion, right? Which I don't want to accept, and I have questioned it on many, many levels, right? I question the goodness of it, right? I question by that, like, how people will be affected for good or for ill, right? I think, generally speaking, honestly, I think that transgenderism is for a tiny, tiny segment of our population, and it's being portrayed as it should be for general consumption, and it's being rewarded, and children are being told it's good and getting lots of positive reinforcement from it. And I think I think children are genuinely being targeted. I'm not saying that to be a hateful dick. I think that's somebody I agree with Ralph C. Davis that the way the gay world was treated during the AIDS epidemic, tragedy, whatever you want to call it, was disgusting. I agree with him, right? I don't think it's okay to sexualize children in this way, right? Or use children to validate fringe sexuality. So putting Yasmin in, who was so clearly not gay, just jumping on a bandwagon of gay, right? Had nothing gay going on about her at all. I think it's just insulting. The 13th Doctor had several companions. 4. But only one that remained by her side the entirety of the run. Yasmin Khan, the first companion in the history of Doctor Who to stay for an entire era, just beating Jamie McCribbin, who was present for all but one of the... Yeah, very good. The connection between Yaz and Doctor grew and became one of the most intense that the show had ever seen. No, it wasn't. Okay, it was completely phony. It was shoehorned in. There was no character. There was no character to shoot for. Nobody cared, right? Nobody cared because it was shit. You pretended to care because it matched your personal politics, and that's it. Speaking of the Doctor Who magazine in 2022, showrunner Christian was said, I wasn't part of the plan. That it wasn't part of the plan. You're in constant dialogue with the show because you think that's what people think that's interesting. We can slow burn that, please. And that's sort of what we did with this. If you look at Arachnids in the UK, there's a front and center in the scene where Yas and Mum asks, are you two seeing each other? Yeah, that was really weird and creepy. Right? That was weird and like very out of character for a Muslim family, right? The last thing I expect for the first woman on Doctor Who to have a queer relationship or anything at all, but it was very exciting. It just didn't make any sense. Says fan Sarah Yu from an interior decorator from Utah. From Ohio. When I first began to notice Jansen's feelings of Doctor, I wasn't sure of his purpose or my own wishful thinking. It was your own wishful thinking, which they then saw and they wanted to please you and get you to comment in this way. And that's how it grew. It's pathetic. It's genuinely pathetic, right? Her mom's assumption of her mental health struggles as a teen. I certainly thought that any feelings were unrequited. I'm more invested. I thought there were hints of Yas's queerness in her mom's assumptions and her mental health struggles as a teen. I certainly thought that any feelings were unrequited. And I was totally surprised that even the darks when both Yas and Doctor admitted that their feelings for each other. Well, obviously they did. It's pandering. What spoke to me most was when Yaz said, I've never told anyone, not even myself. Oh, Ecky Thump. Oh, I'm going to flick my bottle off to the Doctor. Ecky Thump. Jake Willis and Adam Lang. You see it, so unbelievable. Played by Warren Proud and Matthew McNulty. Right? It took a surprisingly long time for Doctor Who to feature a modern married gay couple in central roles. Yes, you know why? Because 98% of modern married gay couples are straight. That's why. That's not surprising. It's just why. And it did it beautifully. No, it wasn't. Was it worth the wait? Jake and Adam came across as real people. No, they didn't. With real relationships, everyday problems, and everyday gay couple. No, they were so not believable. There just happened to be a police officer and an astronaut. Exactly. And on top of that, Jake saves all of humanity by heroically piloting shuttle carrying the practice antidote into the stratosphere. And then shares a romantic triumph with a snog with her husband on board the TARDIS. That was the reason for the scene. It was so transparent. I'm sorry. The queer relationship depicted in this episode struck a particular chord with Kevin Bernard, with an industrial drone operator from California. With Jake and Adam in practice, I felt, as I often do with all the Pete Mateek's writing, that I was someone from a world I recognize. Well, you live in a different reality, mate. Creating a story about people I recognize. Really? You live with two-dimensional ciphers? Okay. Jake's anxiety is about his relationship, badly played, and ability to jiggle masculinity and I can't fuck off. You make me vomit in my own mouth, mate. When I was growing up, I was trying to figure out who I was. I never had a queer role model. Will you stop with this fucking propaganda? Oh, I never queer role models. I didn't know what to do. Did you know you wanted to fuck men? Yeah. Okay, so that's what you knew everything. Okay, that was it. That's what you needed to work out. You know, if you want to fuck girls, right, you also don't know what to do, right? You also don't. You've got to try and convince a girl to date you. I can explain it, right? Have relationship. It's not easy, right? It's not easy for anyone. It's far. This is the world you live in right now. You get no shit for being gay, so I don't get your fucking problem. What's this? The 20th century run Doctor often can be described as camp, with attracted more than its fair share of LGBTQ plus fans. Yeah, no, that's very true. Very representation of sexual and verifiable sexuality and gender. Look, Alpha Centauri, yeah, did look like a giant dick who had a woman's voice. Very strange. The first thing there are who are they going to say? We can make assumptions about, but only through their authorial attempt, and then the pickings are pretty slim. Arguably, there's all sorts of creatures in early series that can be described non-binary, blah, 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 blah. Alpha Centauri, blah, blah, blah. Joe Grant later in the same season. First ever representing a gay man with scientist Stuart Hyde. Is he gay? Apparently. Okay. It's listening rare from. What about Mike Yates? Totally fucking up the uphill gardener, mate, right? As a homosexual stereotype, blah, blah, Dr. Ruth Ingram, blah, 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 blah. Survival. What about Happiness Patrol? Off. Okay, Bill Potts, played by Pearl Mackie. Great character, right? I love Bill Potts, right? I know it's unpopular opinion. I really do. Yes. The idiots at the BBC said you've got to keep mentioning that she's gay. Right? Yes, they said that. But yeah, no, it's just stupid. Other than that, she didn't have to keep mentioning gay because she was very clearly gay. Right. Currently, the 12th Doctor in Series 10, 2017, Bill Potts was the first full-time openly gay companion. Bit too openly fucking gay. God, your tongue was nearly up the vagina of any passing species, darling. Calm it down. The most horny companion ever. When actress Paul Mackie revealed that character's sexuality in an interview before she appeared on screen, UK press were quick to sensationalize the fact. Well, no, you did it because it's sensational. Speaking of serious things, Stephen Moffat said has some stern word for the assembled journalists. You just did a headline of out of something being a fairly average person. What are you talking about? It's important that we don't make a big fuss of it in a children's show. Which communicates directly to children. We don't want young children who may have the fancy that their own gender. We want them to feel as if they are some kind of special case, and that's frightening. No, exactly. Well, they look. This is also, I think Stephen Moffat also drank the cool way, but just more so with him. It was more like in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, when he was like tied to that post thing and he was like forced to drink from the skull, right? That's kind of, I think he was, that's what happened to Stephen Moffat. And I think even so, this character really, really worked. I liked her a lot, right? I thought it was just really excellent. Bill Was Everything to Me explains Sarah Yu. Pearl Mackie is a brilliant role, brilliant in the role. Look, the biggest state on her was her stupid thing saying Black Lives Matter. Was so important. No, Black Lives Matter. They've just gone bankrupt because the people running it stole all the money. They're a criminal Marxist organization that duped you, that duped everybody, right? And Pearl Mackie was all flag waving for them. I think you should apologize to anybody who donated because of your support, right? I genuinely do. Missy is not gay. Fucks off, right? Okay, 2014. I mean, look, if they bring the receipts, they bring the receipts, and I'll say sorry. We're starting to go then. Michelle Gomez, gatekeeper of the Neversphere character, was in fact female incarnation of the Master. That was the first time we've seen a Time Lord had the sex change, and that's why the 12th Doctor didn't recognize her, right? On screen, it was groundbreaking transformation, paved the way for Gallifrey gender to become much more flexible. Yes, I know. That's why a lot of people don't like it. Speaking of Doctor Who magazine 2014 said, well, hopefully, depending on what happens with the Hillary Clinton campaign, it's time for a female president of the United States. Okay, arsehole. Do you see how bad things are right now, you absolute cockwomble idiot, right? That's how they would have been with Hillary Clinton, right? For God's sake, mate. I'm sorry. Reality is still reality. Yes, we had the best economy of our lives and world peace. That happened. Everything that people like Michelle Gomez said was going to happen, they were wrong about. They said he was going to cause massive inflation. No. They said it was going to wreck the economy. No. They said it was going to embarrass America on the world stage. No. They said it was going to look weak. No. They said it was going to start World War III. No. Right? No. And all that happened when Joe Biden became president. So fuck off with the Hillary Clinton bullshit. I'm sorry you were duped by... that's basically the bottom line. I'm sorry you were duped, idiot. But you were. And get over it. Doesn't make you gay. Asked if Gallifreyan gender swaps will reflect anything about the experience of a trans woman. The 27-year-old writer Molly Marsh offers was a caution. I don't know that Missy counts as trans representation any more or less than the Doctor does. Both have changed gender. Exactly. Okay. Now, Madame Vastra and Jenny Flint, yes, they were gay. And again, this is more of the idiotic edicts from the BBC management. Like, everything that was shit about Capaldi's first episode, which was a good 20 minutes or so of it, was all the cutesy wootsy stuff with Madame Vastra and Jenny Flint. Right? I'm not interested. First introducing a good man went to war. Madame Vastra and Paternoster gang, a group of Doctor associates based in Victoria and London, alongside their Centaurian colleague Strax. The pair would appear throughout the 11th Doctor tenure and the Snow. Actually, I did like that, right? I like how the Doctor had unit in the 70s. He had other places to go in other times, other locations, right? Other little groups. The hapless maid of the stately home answers the door, only to be accompanied by Vastra herself, introducing herself and Jenny with the immortal line, "Good evening, I'm a lizard woman from the end of dawn of time, and this is my wife," right? I love that because there was no big drama about it. Again, but it's so obviously inserted. It's so obviously inserted in. Stop! Right? For representation, right? Representation. Right? It turns things woke. And what's the problem? What's the problem with things turning woke? Okay?
Everything woke turns to shit, okay? It's true. It's true. Look at what's happening.
Yep, let's look what's happening, mate. That's amazing to hear. Why not? Somebody else, it's not weird that Jenny's gay. It's just weird that she's a lizard. That's really clever. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But Missy wasn't gay. Will you stop? Right. At the top, we have some legitimately gay people, and we have somebody totally not gay. Clara was not gay. Just what, a couple of weird nods. No. Clara was not gay, and I'm sorry. Clara, Victorian Clara, very hot though, but not gay. Come back. Okay, yeah, they found some more gay people. Very good. Like over here, they actually got some real gay characters. Why didn't they include that in the main article? Right? Why is it only on-screen characters? Again, I want to remind you, the tiny percentage of the population that's gay, right? If 3% of the characters throughout the history of Doctor Who are gay, then you're doing well. Oh, it's better. Clara was not simply a companion or two for a companion on to two doctors. She was a complex space-time events. Compared to her relationship with the casualty, Clara's sexuality was quite straightforward. She's bisexual. How do you know? She likes girls and boys. How do you know? I never saw that happen. So does at least one of her splinters, given the Oswald in Asylum of the Dark speaks about having a crush on a boy called Rory and a girl called Nina. Again, this is all bullshit inserted in politically so idiots like you can feel validated, right? That's all it's for, right? It was inserted in so you can go, there, you see, That's what it was put in for, fucking idiot. Images of the press, we see Clara teaching school children about Jane Austen, describing as the most brilliant writer, comic observer, and strictly speaking among ourselves, a phenomenal kisser. Yeah, no, it was so cringe. I know. Yes, I understand. Why are you reminding us of this total cringe or pandering? God. Everyone's gay. No, they're not. And again, this is such a thing I find with gay people, and not gay, but more like queer people, I should say, that they just think everybody's secretly gay. We're not, right? We're not, right? Because you went off with a Sildren again, that didn't have to be sexual, right? Not at all. Why that be sexual? Is this still going? Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. It's a long article, right? It's a long article. She's got the shitty Kill Bill sword. That's right. Leon Gray is it? How you doing, Leon Gray? Wait a minute. Am I just sitting and thinking about the Master? Does the new Master or Missy even have evil schemes anymore? Or is it just a rivalry nonsense? I can't think of anything. Okay. You want evil schemes for the Master, Liam? Then, okay, we're going to do a quick detour because this is really doing my head in. I have to tell you, it really, really genuinely is doing my head in. But you want evil mastery streams, the Master on Big Finish, specifically the War Master. 1 second. They've got the Lost Stories on sale. Yeah. Wait. Let's just see how much they, what the deals are. Okay, no, go away. 12, no, still too expensive. Rosemary's Stone, that was actually kind of boring. Queen of Time, no. Master of Luxor, actually no. But these ones all being $8. I guess that's what, £5. That's probably worth it. Now you're getting to $3.69. I say yes. So I'm going to say avoid these ones. The season 27. What's the name? Just doesn't really bring it as the companion reign, right? It just doesn't really work. This is great though. These two are totally worth $11.11, right? They're very good. So the first one, Nightmare Fair, yes. Mission to Magnus is cringe. Paradise 5 is pretty good. I like that. All the rest, skip. Fine. Where are we up? So War Master. Yeah, this series is fantastic. This is what the Master does when he's just kind of like hanging out by himself. So yeah, this is War Mastery doing War Mastery thing. Yeah, okay. So it's too expensive though. I can't recommend $37 for that. It's very good, right? Only the good. Yeah, it's the Master doing evil schemes, right? So Master Callus, right? He rises up the planet and he just builds up this general evil scheme for the war. Anti-Master good. $37 is fucking ridiculous. I'm embarrassed to even suggest it. I mean, really? It's fucking ridiculous. I am sorry. Hearts of Darkness, excellent. Again, more master evil schemes. Self-defense, very good. Oh, this was fantastic. Master of that one I would recommend for $37, right? And the new one comes out next month. Anyway, let's get back to that one. And you could very easily do the Derek Jacobi master being gay as well, I think, right? But again, but they're just grasping at straws over here, and it's kind of pathetic, right? I hate to say it's kind of pathetic. Yeah, again, that's like saying the Morbius doctors were the doctors. Shut up. It's a wink, right? For the kids growing up in the wilderness years when Doctor Who was off air, such comments from a teacher would have been unthinkable. Yeah, I agree with you. Section 28, a piece of legislation effectively banning promotion of homosexuality in the classroom, was introduced in the UK in 1988. Was also the year the Coal Hill School for the final time in the original run. Yeah, again, I was there. It was not unreasonable. It kind of got to what it's like now, where you're constantly being screamed at about being gay, right? Constantly. So yeah, and it was popular, and it'll probably be popular now, right? The law was repealed in 2003, but the same year Doctor Who was announced to return to the voice. Okay, weird connection, right? So blimey, again, look, this guy was in 2 episodes. And him saying being gay was ridiculous. It completely drew you out of the drama of the episode. It was again more insane pandering inserted in, so people like this who wrote this article can say, "Oh look, there's so much queerness in Doctor Who." Yes, they put it in as an agenda to please people like you. When you said, "What agenda? This is the fucking agenda." I'm looking at it right now. God, Clara Gay, should you shut up? Oh, everybody's gay, right? You're desperate for a validation, right? Because you believe things you don't believe. You believe like people with penises can be women, right? And so you need to be validated and everything because you don't really believe it, right? Because most people don't. It's how we're hardwired as a species. It's not hate, right? It's not hate saying, I don't believe in Islam because I don't believe the fundamental tenets on it. I don't believe the fundamental tenets of the Earth being flat. I don't hate them. I don't deny their existence. I just say I don't agree with their perception of reality. Right? That's just it, mate. That's all it is. Live and let live. John the 11th, Doctor Epic Escapade in 1969. USA. Carlton is an ex-FBI agent, then forced to quit the bureau because of his desire to marry his partner. Right? That taking the battle because it was trendy to have same-sex marriage in 2011 because that's when you're pushing that shit through, right? And that's what broke reality. I'm sorry. And again, I think it was messed up that same-sex couples didn't get the same rights as traditional couples, right? I think that's messed up. Even so, I think renaming marriage was a thing that, like, now we don't have masculine or feminine anymore, right? They're bad things if they exist at all. When kind of said yes, he is. Said he had this really cringe conversation at the end where he talking to Nixon, and he says, "I don't think you're like the person I would have married." He said, "Oh, I'm quite liberal, really." Is it a Negro? He says, "Yes, he is." Matthew Banner says, I'm talking about Madame Vassar and Jenny. They have a weird S&M vibe. I kind of like that about them. Colton's finals, with Kevin Bernard. I love the episode. Fine. Yeah, these are just... I mean, like, people just, there's a gay person in it. I love it because he's gay and being gay. I'm like, God. It's not also by any means that said actor Mark Shepard speaking at 2012 about the character sector. It was very much absolutely what Colton is. In 1969, he went, yeah, deal with this. Again, it's just ridiculous. I'm sorry, it was ridiculous. But here we actually have some genuinely gay characters. All right. And I don't know, for the life of me, I don't know why they didn't include those in the main article. This would have made the article so much stronger, really, and it just much more holistic. After the TV series was taken off there in 89, Doctor Who Adventures continued in other formats. The new Adventures published in 91 to 97. Stories too broad and deep for the small screen. They feature several notable LGBTQ plus characters. Yeah, exactly. Like real characters. And these were great. Rich vein of representation that culminated in the bisexual companion, Chris Quedge, having a gay encounter in Damage. Beautifully written by Rusty Davis, right? The book, none other by Rusty Davis. A few years later, Davis also was quick to praise the lesbian kiss between companions Izzy Sinclair and Faye Truscott Slade. You know, and it didn't feel like it was forced, right? It didn't feel like you were just slapping it in her face constantly. I was like, oh, yeah, fine, why not, right? Because they were characters. You build up the characters, and I cared about them, right? Oh, God. The ship Oblivion, in a letter published in issue 330, a very marvelous thing and important, maybe to, more than you know. He suggested that it will be remembered for decades ago, and it was, right? It actually was really genuinely important, right? And they deserve to be gay icons because they really were. It was the great characters, right? This is an example of where it really worked, right? Just as the wider world trans representation Doctor Who has some catching up to. No, it fucking doesn't. You are so insanely overrepresented. Just as in the wider world trans representation. Why? Why does trans representation have to be massively, massively disproportionate to reality? Right? What I mean, again, 0.7% of the population. I mean, again, there's more Jews. Are you worried about Jewish representation? I bet. Are you somebody who's a flag waver for Jeremy Corbyn? I bet you probably were, right? I bet you probably were. So now that sets the do so in the forthcoming ventures. Exactly, and it's going to kill it. Leading the way in this department has been the audio production company Big Finish. They're much lauded Ace Doctor Who Stranded. Stranded is what broke the range. They've tried rebooting it twice. It's dead. And not only how it's so dead that the trans character on that, when they transplanted it to the Ninth Doctor range, killed that too. Right? Yes, I'm sorry. Feature trans actress Rebecca Root as trans convention Tanya Bell, who sounded like a bloke. I mean, it was very confusing. And also her lesbian relation with the previously established companion Liv Chenka. Yeah, exactly. So it was a lesbian relationship with only one penis. That was a female penis, obviously, stunning and brave. Other examples, Big Finish LGBTQ plus representation include the breaking new ground by the first Doctor gay companion series Oliver Harper. That was excellent, right? That was actually generally played very well. I really enjoyed that trilogy, right? And it was done. It really examined what it was to be gay in the 60s. And made a great companion, a three-dimensional companion, wonderfully played by, who was it? Tom Allen. It was a great three-parter, right? It really was fantastic, right? 2011. As soon as you hit 2016, as soon as you hit Trump and Brexit, everything goes crazy. It really is true. More recently, we introduced the recurring character Calypso Jones. I know who's awful. Non-binary trans pansexual bounty hunter played by Robin Holdaway, who has appeared alongside the Six Doctors in 2 stories today. Yes, and they've the Six Doctors also arranged as another one that's not doing so great. So again, some more on-screen representation. I'm surprised they were allowed to put Captain Jack in. I'm surprised they got through. Right, I am really. All the nice boys like a sailor. Even the sailor in question was midshipman on board the Dune spacefaring replica of the RMS Titanic. So again, listen. I think why the representation in the previous era really worked was because it wasn't full of trans representation. And the problem with trans representation is it's targeting children for, again, intense adult sexuality. right? And I think it's influencing them to take on a sexuality that is not authentically their own. They may be doing it for all kinds of reasons, and having these insane treatments, some surgical, mostly irreversible. It's horrific, right? It's absolutely horrific. Having like a gay people in, I was like, oh, that's nice. You know, having adults, you know, do adult things, that's okay, right? You know, yeah, we want adults doing adult things, right? Not, you know, we need to separate that.
It's a joke, an adult joke for us adults.
Exactly. For us adults, not everybody, right? Not everybody. Oh. And again, that's not that's not being hateful. I wish somebody warned me about Mission Magnus, dude. I've warned everybody about that all the time. Boy, that was it's so cringe. It's so bad. It's beyond belief, right? And it's not that the adaptation's bad. It's the original script was really cringe. I'm sorry, mate. You got to listen to your Rabbi on that one. Remember when times were smooth and dongless? Actually, I don't remember that, but okay, it's fine. Focus on progressive history of the property would have made it more interesting, but they are pandering to the modern. Exactly. There's so much gay representation behind the camera and in front of the camera. It's ridiculous. They could have actually done a real article or something that I would have been proud to read, right? But this is low quality shit hiding behind sexuality. Yes, you're 100% right? You're 100%. Wasn't Boris Hussein gay? Let me just check. Boris Hussein gay? I think he was, right? Yeah, okay, he was gay. There's been like he was the first. He was formative for Doctor Who, right? Talk about what it was like being gay in the 60s compared to now, right? That'd be fascinating, right? But maybe he's not on board for the weird shit of today. You don't know. A lot of gay people are normal people who are gay, right? You never know. But that would have been a fascinating article. Oh, it's a real that's a real opportunity wasted. You're absolutely right. It's a real opportunity wasted. I'm actually kind of annoyed by that now. Fine. He sets up a surprise date with the waiter in the space bar, pass a note to the brooding Captain Jack and warns about Alonso's name. Look, that just seemed very indulgent to me, right? That seemed very, very indulgent. Was it there was a beautiful stand-up scene, blah blah blah. Co-creator of Gallifrey Cabaret, a queer Doctor Who themed variety night. Oh, well, I mean, again, look, if you keep it behind closed doors, whatever. But enough already. Fine. Okay, fine. So they're there, and then finally, Captain Jack. Yes, this is genuine gay representation, right? Arriving back in 2005, Empty Child, the omnisexual Captain Jack was the first openly queer hero to appear in Doctor Who, starting that as he means to go on the Cold Man, and they built him up as a character. Again, it's not that he was gay; that he being gay was an aspect of this wonderful multi-aspected character, right? This many jeweled character. Right, it's yeah, and the thing is, John Barrowman is so gregarious, you can't nail him down to just being gay, even though he's very, very gay, right? Bisexual as later, I've often heard that one I think feels best for me, says Kevin Bernard. Okay, I first saw Captain Jack on the screen, and to be honest, I mostly felt weird about it. I never seen anything like it. Watching Jack helped me understand. Look, I can. But you know, this need to constantly be able to see yourself in everything, right? It's not healthy, right? That's basically what I'm going. It's not very healthy. Bottom line, right? It really genuinely isn't. It's just not for. It's not good. It's not good for you. I don't think it's really good for anyone. Right. It's yeah. So I'm just looking at the chat over here. We have I was looking around. We have Ooga Booga is in the chat. We have Spryanka. It's got a thing. Okay, he says monkeypox is going to get you all. Watch out for that monkeypox. Is all I can say. Keep your mouth closed. Right, that would be my recommendation. But yeah, listen, this is a real tragedy because there's a lot of really wonderful gay people, right, that worked on making Doctor Who, that could have added such an incredible insight into the changing sexual politics over the 60 years of Doctor Who. Man, gay life over the last 60 years. I mean, it's there's so many stories around the John Nathan Turner years, right? And you got Richard Molesworth, who basically had everything interviewed for his book, The Life from Gregarious Time. I'm really fucked off actually that they didn't do that, right? I'm genuinely fucked off that they just had this pandering, blathering, nonsensical shit, right? That clearly they got Russell Davies to write half a paragraph about casting Yasmin Finney, right? And that's really it. And Russell, mate, big-hearted genius who's drunk the Kool-Aid. Yeah, I think that's it.
My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.